What is up, everybody? It's Garrett, back with the ever geeky spinoff, Geek Up, whatever you want to call it. New setup though. So what happened was, uh, my old camera that I used to use with this was, it was a GoPro. It was a knockoff GoPro, basically. And my wife bought it for me last year, 2 years, something like that. I don't remember. It's been a while. We got it at Sam's Club because it was this whole kit for like $50. It came with the GoPro, came with 2 batteries, and a mount for like your bike, your helmet, like the one that just straps onto your chest, and then it came with the waterproof case and all that stuff. And I found out you can just use it as a webcam. And so like when Frankie and I would do the show, I would just use that because it was small and it would fit right between my 2 monitors here. And it just worked. It worked really well. And then we got our pool filled this year. And I was thinking, you know what? Let's see how this thing actually works in water, because I'd never used it like that before. So I put it in the case. I brought it out with me. Went swimming with it with one of my kids. We're playing with it, filming stuff, having fun. And it worked really well. The only problem was the audio. You could not really hear people talking like this. When it was underwater, you could really catch all the water noises kind of happening around it. But the regular thing as a whole just was not working super well. And then it seemed like because it was getting too much use, it would just get too hot and it would stop working. So then, the younger kids, I brought it out for them and I explained how sometimes it gets too hot, so you can't use it. You have to just put it down for a while. Do not open the case because the camera cannot get wet. And then let them play with it. And the next day, I was at work and they were out in the pool playing with it. And I get home and it's open in front of the fan because one of the kids decided to open the case and look at it because it wasn't working, because I told him it gets too hot, and then accidentally dropped it in the pool. It was only in there for seriously a second, because we have a security camera above our pool so we can keep an eye on them if we happen to just be inside or whatever. And so I just happened to look, and sure enough, she just dropped it and it fell in. And it was kind of shitty because I really liked that camera for this function and for the water stuff. And eventually I would like to actually do some more of this YouTube stuff. And that camera would have been perfect for the thing that I have planned. But now that I don't have that camera anymore, I'm going to have to figure something else out. Either I use my phone, which has a pretty good camera on it, and do some videos that way, or I bring this thing out and use this. This would be kind of a pain in the butt to use because of the whole functionality of having to import the video into a thing and work with it that way. Whereas if I'm doing stuff with my phone, it's just a little easier to manage from the phone. But we'll figure that out once I actually give myself enough time to do YouTube. But so what I did is I figured out that I could use my DSLR camera, which is what this is, as a webcam. And so I plugged it in and USB-C on the camera to USB in the computer. And the frame rate was just super choppy no matter what I did. It just didn't seem to work. And I couldn't figure out how to make it work. And so I talked to some of my good buddies, and they said that I should really invest in a capture card. And they suggested an Elgato, and I looked, and those are $80. And I am not gonna do it that way. I'm just gonna go cheap for now, because once again, this is a hobby that I'm not getting paid for. So why would I invest all this money into something I'm not getting paid for? Maybe in the future, but as of right now, I don't have a whole lot of money. So I went to Walmart, bought a $20 Vivitar capture card, and bought a $10 HDMI mini to HDMI cable to plug this thing into my computer so we can get this. The only problem that I'm having with this is this thing. I have to actually be recording on the camera for the screen to not go dead on here. Otherwise, it just goes to like default colors on the screen, and I don't like that. So this is going to be kind of a test to see how well this works. Obviously, there's going to be some tweaks. I still need to get like a title screen. I need to get transitions and all that kind of stuff. But here we are. So far, I can see myself right here. I'm looking pretty good. Lighting's a little weird, but I don't care. I was hoping that you could see more of my really cool shirt, because I'm kind of wanting to like show off my cool nerdy shirts while I'm doing this. This one here is one of my favorites. It's Yoshi the dinosaur, but the way that it's designed, it says "Yo shit, he dinosaur." Got this off of TikTok. There was a creator on there who is younger brother or son or something drew Yoshi and wrote it this way, so he recreated it. I think his name is Matthias Morte, something like that. I'll if I remember, I'll put a link in the description for this. But here we go. We're gonna hop into this because I got actually a lot to cover, because it's been a while since your boy's been on here. So the first thing that we're gonna do is I'm going to watch something that Frankie told me to watch, and she said I should react to this, and this was sent a while back. So Frankie, thank you for suggesting this. This is a trailer for the red one, and here we go.
497, 498, 499, 500.
Let's go heavy.
Yep. Nice.
Looking strong, Nick.
Go on, brush your shoulders off.
Red one is on the move.
Evening, ladies. What are you so excited about? Of course, your boyfriend's here. Okay. Who's with Red?
Reach! Someone took Nick. We're gonna find him.
I'm bringing in Jack O'Malley. He's probably the best tracker in the world.
The guy's a legend.
What am I doing here?
Last night, Red One, also known as St. Nicholas of Myra, was abducted from the North Pole complex.
Are you saying Santa Claus has been kidnapped?
Garcia?
Oh my God.
What the hell?
You can't trust this guy. He's on the list.
You don't mean...
Yes, that list. NL4.
Are you telling me this clown is a level 4 naughty lister?
A level 4 naughty lister?
Oh, is that funny to you?
You're gonna help us find Nick.
Oh my God.
Come on, let's go.
Grab a car.
For what?
You don't have a Wonder Woman action figure, do you?
Oh
Not
my
how it
God.
works.
That's
Come on.
disgusting.
There is much in here that is not of the natural world.
Who's that?
Krampus.
What are they doing?
They're playing crayfish slop.
I think if you don't need me here, I might just go back to the car.
We need to prepare for the possibility of no Christmas.
There's worse ways to go out than trying to save Santa Claus.
We got snowmen!
That was so disturbing.
Interesting.
My turn!
Oh my god.
Wow.
Is my face still there? Yeah, you look good.
Okay. All right, Frankie. I see what you're doing here. That actually looks like it could be fun. Um, Not what I was expecting, obviously, but because I really had no idea what that was. She just said to watch. She sent me a link for a trailer, and that's all I actually looked at. That actually looks like it could be interesting. I love the whole like Christmas movies just becoming a thing. Uh, Spirited, I watched that last year. That one was so much fun. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie, and it looks like it's gonna be good. So, um, obviously the Rock's in it, and I could. He's great in Jumanji. He's fine. I haven't seen anything of his lately that I've just been absolutely in love with. I personally don't like that they're making another or that they're making a live action Moana movie and a sequel to Moana at the same time. That seems so dumb to me. Just I can more understand making the live action old movies from like the 30s and 40s, 50s, somewhere around there. Even, I just don't see the purpose of remaking Moana live action when it just came out within the last 15 years. There's no purpose for that. But we'll see. I don't think that'll be a theater one for me. That'll be probably a home watch. I love that J.K. Simmons is just accepting his role as like old guy because I believe he voiced Santa in Klaus on Netflix, which if you haven't seen, that's an awesome Christmas movie. So make sure you're checking that out too. Yeah, looks all right. So there's that. The next thing that I have to watch is there's it seems interesting that this is even happening, but this is a trailer for Hellboy, the Crooked Man.
There's something going on here. I need to understand it. Like you do.
That's exactly why you shouldn't be here.
You might say a demonic entity falls under our expertise. Crooked Man's waiting on you.
That's interesting. Oh, you didn't want me to squash?
No, squashing's good.
I heard tales about him all my life. Most just called him the Crooked Man.
I thought Big Red wasn't scared of anything.
Oh, I know something you're afraid of.
You hear something?
Your road ends in the dark like mine.
Let's just keep on coming.
It ain't even really begun.
Come on, Snake, let's rattle.
Let not your horns be troubled. By way they know not. I will make the darkness light. And the crooked things straight. You doubt the power of prayer, son?
Just in case.
All right. So there's that one. Okay. I grew up in the 90s, and Hellboy 1 and Hellboy 2, The Golden Army came out. I remember watching them. I remember enjoying them. Could I tell you anything about them at this point? No. Other than the fact that Ron Perlman was Hellboy. I remember them being violent. I remember him being just a badass. He looked like Hellboy from what I know. I never read any of the comics. I don't know anything about it. I just know the movies. And then last 10 years or so, I think, a Hellboy movie came out just called Hellboy, and it had David Harbour as Hellboy, and it was really fucking weird, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought it was a fun comic book movie where it was kind of silly, it was over the top, and I had a good time watching it. Obviously some, iffy moments, but I also haven't seen the original ones in so long. I don't know how well they hold up. I don't know how well this one will hold up, though. For some reason, the guy playing Hellboy in this one doesn't give off the vibe he wants to be there, at least from the footage that they showed. Even like David Harbour, when he was doing that movie, he gave off the vibe that he wanted to do the part. Does that make sense? He didn't seem like he was just going for a check. He seemed like he was having fun. I feel like David Harbour is just the kind of guy who wants to just act in anything. Because he's great in Stranger Things. He's awesome in Hellboy. He's great as the Red Guardian in Black Widow. And I'm currently going through all of the Fox X-Men movies because I stopped after X-Men 3. So I watched 1, 2, and 3 when they came out, and then I stopped watching all of them until Logan, and then I watched Logan when that came out in theaters, and then I watched the Deadpool movies because they were different. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just X-Men. And I just finished First Class, and it was all right. Obviously, still some missteps as far as how I feel a comic book movie should be done. And this is coming from somebody who hasn't read comics. So let me just put that out there. That's all I know. I know the movies. I just look at the things that the MCU has done, and even some of the DC comic movies, and then I watch the Fox ones, and they're just not the same, aside from Deadpool, but I feel like they know what they're doing. So I watched First Class, and now I'm going in like the chronological order because there's apparently a chronological order to watching these things. And the next one on the list is X-Men Origins Wolverine. You get to see Deadpool in it. I learned that apparently David Harbour auditioned to play the Blob, according to like all the stuff on IMDb. And they told him he was basically too fat to play the Blob, which is interesting. But yeah, I think he just wants to act and wants to have fun. So there's that. Next thing we're gonna watch, and I have to keep these quick because I think I only have like half an hour to record on this, and then it like stops recording. The next thing, I've been avoiding this for a long time. I wanted to have my reaction here. This one is another MCU project. We're actually going to go over three of these tonight. So one of three is right here. And this one is Agatha All Along.
Another beautiful day.
Surprised to see you out here, Detective. Jane Doe. Found her down here by the water.
Cause?
Blunt force trauma.
What happened to you? I have a lead in the case. but I can't shake this feeling I'm seeing it wrong.
Is this really how you see yourself?
That witch is gone, leaving you trapped in her distorted spell. Claw your way out. I miss the glory days. She took every bit of power I had, but I can beat that witch again. Well, the gang's all here. Let's hit the road. I'm gonna walk the witch's road. The road is a death wish. Join me.
What witch in her right mind would join Agatha Harkness's coven?
Not looking for right-minded witches, as it happens.
Sweetheart, you okay?
Oh my God! Whoa! What's she doing? Where's she going?
Well, that certainly looks terrifying as far as like a Marvel thing goes. Looks like they're really just embracing the scariness of it, which they did when they did Werewolf by Night, which if you haven't seen Werewolf by Night, what are you doing? You missed it. I think it came out like 2 years ago or something. And they did, like, the original one was done in black and white, and it was, it was just so good. And then they released a colored one, but I didn't watch the color one. Black and white, as they intended. That's how I want to watch things. But man, that looks like they are really embracing the witch part of it. I still don't know if this is necessary, but I have been a very proud MCU fan through and through. I just finished watching Quantumania in my rewatch from Iron Man 1 all the way through. The only thing I've been skipping is the TV series, but I've watched all the movies in chronological order. And actually, I guess Iron Man is not the first one I watched. It would have been Captain America. Yeah, Captain America would have been the first one, I think. I don't remember what the whole timeline is. I just watched it in sequential order. And aside from a couple of the misstep ones, which we've talked about ad nauseum on here, all of the new ones where people are not happy with them, I can understand some of the criticisms, but I don't feel like these are as big of missteps as what people are saying they are. Like, when Love and Thunder came out, I remember going to see it in theaters with my brother, and I missed the very beginning because on my way to drive to the theater, which was out of town because my brother and I live, 2 hours apart, we were kind of meeting in the middle. In the middle of driving, this huge rainstorm just came through. And one of the towns I had to drive through had a bridge that just like the underneath just flooded. And so we were stuck for a while. So I missed the whole beginning setup of gore. I don't remember exactly when I came in, but it was way after that part. So I missed all of that. And watching it at home again, you know what? I still had fun watching the movie. I still feel like Thor, given all he's gone through, and they really play it up in this one too. I really don't know what people are wanting it to be. He's got problems. He's lost everybody. He's lost everything. He's still trying to hold it together. I still feel like they're portraying that well. Quantumania was still fun. Couple little things here or there that I wasn't a big fan of. Honestly, why even put Bill Murray in the movie? He was in there for 10 minutes maybe, and his character really did nothing. They could have just had some random guy play him and it would have been fine for how inconsequential he was to like the actual scope of the movie. So I don't know if they cut some stuff out or what, but it just, didn't seem necessary. I'm so mad that Jonathan Majors had to be a dick. You know what I mean? Like, obviously I want there to be justice and given everything. I haven't read. I don't know where it still sits. I don't know what happened. It's just a real damn shame that they were setting up Kang and his variants to be like the baddie this time, and they can't because of that. And they just released information in the last week or so that the Kang Dynasty movie has now changed to Doomsday, and they are bringing in Doctor Doom, which a lot of people are happy for. And Doctor Doom is going to be portrayed by Robert Downey Jr. I'm not sure how they're going to make that work. I know absolutely nothing about comics as far as this goes too. I just know the villain from the 3 crappy Fantastic Four movies and from the cartoon I watched back in the day. So I don't know how they're going to make it work. I have a feeling they have a good team together to make this work. And the other thing to remember too is this is the cinematic universe. So really they could do anything and it shouldn't matter because it's the cinematic universe. It's not the comic universe, it's the cinematic one. So they could literally just have anything happen, and it, as long as it makes sense in that world, it's fine. I don't get why people are just so uppity about, well that didn't happen in the comics, so you can't do it here. It's the movies, guys. People write comics and people die in comics and then they bring them back, and things like weird things happen all the time. There's different storylines, there's different things like that. They can all exist at the same time, and you can be happy. You can love whatever you want. You can criticize the movies for bad acting, bad plot holes, things like that. That I can get. But when it comes to the actual story part, they're making movies. Comics and movies are a different medium. And it really, I just feel like people are never going to be happy no matter what they do. Watchmen, for example, which I have back. Let's see, where's it at? Right here. This is Watchmen. I have it. I own it. I read it, and I watched the movie. I watched the ultimate cut of the movie. There are moments, multiple moments, almost the whole movie basically is like shot for shot from the graphic novel, and people were still pissed about it. What do you want? What do you want? Anyway, speaking of breaking away from the comics and doing their own thing, potentially, I guess I don't know. I'm just saying shit now. We've got this.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache or lose the election.
Okay, to be fair, I have already seen this trailer, but I love watching it.
Agreed in the past. But I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage this situation, then what happens?
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
Sir, your inner circle has been compromised. Either you can't see that,
but you don't want to. What if it's a trap? Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
Man, that last little throw there just kills me every time, dude. I love that. I love that throw. It's going to be so epic when that one comes out. I also want to applaud the whoever directed this trailer, whoever whatever title does the trailer stuff. That trailer is all I need to see. I will not watch another one. That gave me all the information I need, and it's perfect. It's literally perfect. It introduces Captain America, the one that we have now, because Steve Rogers is done. We got Thaddeus Ross. We got Giancarlo Esposito, who was revealed to be Sidewinder, which I don't know who that is. We got the new Falcon. We got Samuel Stearns back, who was from Edward Norton's The Incredible Hulk movie, if you remember that, from 2008. And it just looks phenomenal. We don't need any more information, because the problem with these trailers is they just give away too much information. This is perfect. This is all we need. Don't watch anymore. Go into this movie with nothing else besides this, and that's all you get. Okay, I was going to do one last thing to talk about and then be done, but as I'm looking at my YouTube screen right now, there's a trailer that I haven't seen yet, and I feel like I should just do this because this is a big episode. You know what? Screw it. We're going to do it. Here we go.
You should probably know that I have a really dark and unpredictable side to me.
Stop speaking.
I'm giving you a chance, sweetie.
Say when.
When?
What are you?
We are.
We're Venom!
We are.
Venom!
No.
Oh!
Yeah, we
are.
Venom. We're gonna need to work on that.
Delicious! You take me to all the finest places.
I need time off.
We always knew it was impossible. That we were alone in the universe.
Why is he in this movie?
And it's our job to make sure that remains a secret.
Let's go get him.
Oh, shit! We are fugitives. On the run. In the shit.
You're living the dream, my friend.
You mean it?
No! Any promises change?
Hello?
There has to be a reason they're after us.
Eddie, my own, has found us.
Jesus Christ! There's an army coming that cannot be beaten. As long as Venom lives, everyone, everything will end.
We may not make it out of this alive, buddy.
Eddie, the time has come.
Be honest with me. How fast do you think you can get that thing to go without killing it?
Only one way to find out.
Okay. That. Oh boy. That's how you don't make a trailer compared to like Brave New World. I don't understand how they're making another one of these. The first one was tolerable. The second one was not. I think in the first 15 minutes, maybe I talked about it on this show before, I don't remember. But like within the first 15 minutes, maybe half an hour, I was like, what is this movie trying to be? What is the direction here? And this one, I can't tell what they're going for here. I also don't understand this whole like universe thing with these other movies now. They still haven't quite figured that out as far as like for me understanding it, because, and obviously some spoilers going ahead, but I feel like if you're watching these geek things, you're already well aware of what's happened in the MCU in the last 5 years. We had the Venom movies come out with no relation to Spider-Man whatsoever, aside from taking place in the same city, I believe. No mention of Spider-Man, no nothing. You have, and those are Sony movies, the Venom ones are. They're strictly Sony. You have Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, all three of them, which are done in association with Sony. Those take place in the actual MCU. The first Homecoming has Michael Keaton's Adrian Toomes as, almost said Hawkeye, as the Vulture. And then you go back to Sony's side with Morbius, who decides to bring in Adrian Toomes for like a 30-second cameo or something. That doesn't make any sense. And then in No Way Home, when Doctor Strange puts the spell through, you see in like the end credits that Eddie Brock with Venom gets teleported to their world for that brief little time. A little bit of the Venom symbiote gets left behind. They go back. And then in the other, whatever movie, I'm getting all these kind of confused. There's that scene where Eddie Brock and Venom are watching TV, and then Venom licks the TV because he recognizes Spider-Man because of their like hive mind kind of thing over however many years he said. It was all very convoluted, whatever. And now you have this one, which is back in the Sony universe. You see them capture the symbiote on the table that was left in the MCU universe. And then the guy who fucking plays Mordo is playing somebody else. What is happening here? This is where I wish that Sony would legitimately just give up all of their rights to their shit and give it to Marvel. Because Marvel knows what they're doing way better, not perfect, but way better than Sony does. which is evidenced time and time again with both Venom movies. I'll say they're not great. They're fine, but they're not great. You've got Morbius, which was terrible. You have Madam Web, which has gone down as one of the worst superhero movies ever. I still haven't made myself watch that one yet. It's in my Netflix queue. I'm just waiting. But I saw a clip that was posted on TikTok from Clip Mojo or whatever Mojo thing is. And it was all of the lines that the villain has where it's ADR and not lip synced properly. And it just sounds so half-assed. It's unreal. You have all of these movies over here that they just don't know what they're doing. I feel like you can't have a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man. You know? What are they doing? And now they're having a Kraven movie come out with Aaron Taylor Johnson as Kraven, even though he was Quicksilver for a movie and a half? What are you doing? I don't get it, guys. I really don't. But one thing I do get is Deadpool. I never read the comics. I've only seen him referenced in like cartoons and other mediums of that sort. And like I said, I never watched X-Men Origins until like today is the first time I've actually ever seen anything from that movie. And when the first Deadpool movie, like when they release that test footage of him just sitting on the bridge and then he drops down through that car and just mercilessly kills everyone, I was sold, dude. That's all I need. And the first movie was so fun. I went and saw it in theaters. Deadpool 2 came out. I don't think I saw that one in theaters. I think I waited till that one came out and I just bought it because why would you not? They just took the same thing and made it better. Well, not better. They made more of the same. It was enjoyable. I wouldn't say it was better than the first one. But it had its moments for sure. And then a year ago, I believe, Ryan Reynolds posts on his YouTube an update for Deadpool saying that they're trying to work on writing it, and he has this whole setup, and then there's like a joke where he goes, I got nothing. And then all of a sudden where he's sitting, from behind him, walks Hugh Jackman, and Ryan goes, hey, Hugh, you want to play Wolverine again? And Hugh goes upstairs and goes, sure, why not? Then they announced it was going to be Deadpool 3, and then the 3 was symbolized by the 3 claws of Wolverine going through the Deadpool logo. And pants were wet from everybody because people have been wanting this team up for a while. They teased it in, like, the first Deadpool when he takes off his mask and he's got Hugh Jackman's face on. A lot of just back and forth stuff between those two, and it's hilarious. Fast forward to now. It is August 3rd of 2024. The movie came out a week ago in July on a Thursday. I didn't get to go see it right away because I'm old and I have a life. And I was going to go over this last week with my daughter, and I just couldn't. I didn't want to take her time away from her mom or anything like that, so I figured we would just go next week. And then I saw too much stuff online get spoiled, and I said, fuck it, I'm going this week. And one of my coworkers said, like, hey, I'll go with you if you're going. I said, perfect, let's go Friday at 7:30, and that's what we did. I went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine with my coworker. I'm doing no spoilers because it's only been a week, and I want to give people more time to watch it. In like a month's time, I will maybe talk about some stuff more. But people said that the story for Deadpool and Wolverine was shallow. To that I say, I don't think so, Tim. I really feel like this movie had more structure than people are giving it credit for. This is really hard to talk about without spoiling stuff. They reintroduce the TVA to people who probably didn't watch Loki. which if you didn't watch Loki, what are you doing? There's another recommendation for you. Go watch Loki. Both seasons, please. The second one was better than the first. Loki's great. They bring the TVA in. You get to see Hugh Jackman just kick ass as Wolverine. This movie earned its R rating tenfold. The gore, especially in the beginning, was intense. The swearing was turned up. When they found out they were making an R-rated MCU movie, Ryan Reynolds was like, "Let's make this count," and I feel like they did. There's got to be a count out there for how many swear words are in this one versus like the other two. I feel like this one they really just wanted to make sure that you knew it was R-rated. I loved all of the cameos, even the ones that were spoiled for me. You pricks online on X just posting pictures of characters and being like, "Oh, it's cool to see this guy." It's like, yeah, it would have been even better to see him without knowing he was in the movie in the first place. You jackass. I don't get that. I blew up on Twitter about it, and X, whatever, still irritated. What else is there? Soundtrack was fun. I feel like it was a fun story to tell. A little confusing with some parts that I still don't quite understand, but I just watched it last night, and I'm old. I went like right to sleep when I got home. So I haven't had a lot of chance to like process things, but I think I'm going to try to look up some stuff and try to figure out exactly what was happening. But overall, loved it. I mean, I cannot stress enough how much I love this movie. And Frankie saw it and she loved it too. We're both ready to just like go see it again. Aside from people complaining about the story being a little kind of iffy, I think everyone else has loved it too. It's breaking records as far as like money coming in, I believe. And people are really hoping that this is going to be the one that brings the MCU back, in quotations. And because this is their only movie this year, I hope they're on the right track with it. Because I want people to enjoy going to see these movies as much as I do. And I saw Quantumania, I saw Love and Thunder, I saw The Marvels, I saw Guardians 3 all in theaters, and I loved all of them. I enjoyed going to see them. I'm not going in expecting Martin Scorsese just perfection. You know what I mean? I'm going in with expectations that I'm seeing a comic book movie. I'm seeing adults pretend to be superheroes for 2 hours at a time. I know I'm not going to get absolute perfection. Their world doesn't make sense in our world. They're breaking all sorts of laws of physics, of genetics, of everything. So I can suspend my belief while I'm watching these. I can let things go because it doesn't have to make sense. So I'm enjoying myself watching these. And I don't know what people are honestly getting so twisted about with some of these. Like I said, I didn't like Eternals when I first tried to watch it. I was too distracted. Something happened. I just wasn't into it. I watched it again. I loved it. I can't wait to see that one again. It was something different. But that's the thing is like people say they want something different because they're superhero fatigue, and then they get something different and I'm like, well, not that different. Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? So yeah, that's if you haven't seen Deadpool yet, Deadpool and Wolverine, make sure you go to it. If you're like a comic book movie fan, you're gonna love the hell out of it. You don't need to really watch any of the Fox things to truly understand. That was kind of what the director said. I believe his name is Sean Levy. He said you don't have to do homework to watch this. They kind of explain everything to you, and they do, but you're missing out on one of the best superhero movies ever, which would be Logan. Logan was just so good. I remember seeing that in theaters and just being blown away. And they reference that one a lot in this movie. So it's great. I loved it. I'm looking forward to watching it again, and I'm really excited for the future of the MCU with the announcement of Doomsday, how they're going to handle that. They also talked about Fantastic Four, The First Steps, I believe is the subtitle of that one. They talked about that at the panel that they had. Someone on Reddit posted leaked footage of the like teaser that they filmed for that, which I believe is they kind of like do like test footage basically of the actors wearing costumes and stuff, just to try to get a feel for it, give the people attending the show something to look at. But apparently they hadn't actually started filming till like within this last week or so. But I think Fantastic Four is going to be a really fun movie when that comes out. And if they're honoring the source material, which I feel like they're getting better at with the MCU, as far as like the villains and costumes, more so the costumes, I guess. You go back to like the first X-Men movies and they're wearing just all leather and it just looks weird instead of comic accurate costumes. And then this isn't a spoiler because there's been pictures of it everywhere, but Wolverine is wearing the blue and yellow suit in the movie, comic accurate. You look at Quantumania and they had MODOK, which how they made that work in this universe, it was perfect for me. And he looks dumb as shit, but they made it work in the movie. I think they're realizing that people want that. They kind of want the silliness, the extra belief that, suspension, like I mentioned, instead of just having everything be so grounded in realism and sadness. Like let's check out of our world for 2 hours and come over here to Comic Land and watch colorful comics on screen instead of just dull sadness all the time. That's what we should really be like focusing on. So, well, this episode is almost an hour long, which is crazy, but I had a lot to cover. And now that I've got my new setup and trying stuff out, I'm hoping to get these kind of coming back regular. I know I keep saying stuff and I'm trying, guys, but let me tell you, this summer has been kicking my ass. Just being extra tired all the time. I got my grandson here every other week, and that's amazing. I love every second I get to spend with that little guy. My wife's due in November, and that's coming up quick, and we got projects up the ass at the house and all sorts of stuff's going on, and Frankie and I aren't doing episodes yet. Like, I'm still trying to write the story that we talked about months ago, or a month or whatever it is ago. Slowly working on that. It's coming, but I'm just not dedicating time because I'm too busy and tired. But I feel like I can, sacrifice half an hour of my time to do an episode, and right now this one's like twice as long, so the next ones won't be quite as long. I just will make sure I do these more frequently. So yeah, make sure you're checking out all the other shows on Odd Pods Media. Make sure you're checking out the YouTube of the other shows as well. They're all great. I love these guys, and they've been very kind dealing with me and my schedule. So the least you guys can do to show appreciation is to go watch their stuff too. And yeah, until then, peace out.